Hello, friends. How's everybody doing tonight? The weekend is here, which is wonderful. Oh no. Wow. Apparently the Slob's remote on my phone also plays the fanfare. I'm sorry that that happened in like the weirdest fucking echo. We're just gonna turn that off. Thank you, Grim. Thank you so much for your generosity and gifting all these subs to people. You are the bestest. You are the bestest. I swear, guys, I promise I will get emotes. I've just been trying to get art done for so many other things. We will get there. You will have cool sub emote thingamajiggies. Honestly, what would you guys like for emotes? Thank you for the host, Lindy. Are we all ready to do this samurai smoochin' bid? Graham! Look at you, man. We are here for the smooches! Yeah, so we're going to get Heisuke's good ending and proceed on to the next game where the story continues, is my plan. But then after that, we need to decide who to go after next. So be thinking about your runner-up, husbando. I know who Lindy wants. A certain purple-eyed demon commander would be my guess. Dreamy McPurple Eyes! Hijikata-san! No joke though, he's like hella handsome. It's not even fair. When Heisuke's on the screen, I can't even think of other boys. Heisuke is just so good and pure and... ugh. Sweet Bab. Sweet, sweet Bab. The 6 fellows you see on the screen for the starting screen are the ones who were available in the original. I think for our first vote, I will open it up to these guys. I don't know if I want to play through the brand new stories yet because they're kind of more like side story content, I think. I'd rather go through the original stuff and see what was added, and then we can dive into other stories. This is a project that's going to take months. Unless I play it every day, which I'm grossly tempted to do. But anyway, these 6 are our options for now. Yes. No worries, Anarsis. You do your video editing thing. We will be here. My goodness. I'm glad to see you're so dedicated. have a cat in front of my game screen right now. Samurai boys are a weakness you didn't know you had? Well, you're welcome. Believe it or not, it's like this game got wildly popular or something, and a bunch of like bootleggy, cheaper otome game makers for mobile games like jumped on the craze and made their own like Shinsengumi centered otome games. They're not even remotely as good. Yes, I've played them. Don't at me. They are very they have decent art as they do. A couple of them have some interesting ideas, but none of them are even remotely close to this. Then you know, Lindy, you know. I can't even remember the name of most of them. There was one that I was like that I thought was kind of good. I think Voltage made it. They make a lot of those phone otome games that are pretty decent. Shit. The thing that was interesting about that one was one of your options was actually Takasugi, who was one of the like rebels who was on the opposite side of the Shinsengumi. Who we don't actually see in this. However, there is another Hakuoki game that we never got out here that had a different heroine and had different guys who were more on the side of the Choshu. And I think it's technically a kind of prequel. Hi, Rude! Thank you for the host, by the way. Lindy. You're like, oh, I still have this game. Oh no, I seem to be playing it. Oops. How did that happen? Hi, Lyra. How you doing, friend? Yeah, oh, that's right. And then there is an actual Hakuoki prequel, where the guy who got mentioned in our last game, Ibuki, Ryunosuke Ibuki, was basically the player character. And it actually detailed the time of the Shinsengumi when Serizawa was in charge, and if any of you recall my historical babble and Lynn's helpful text lectures, I can use my words. He was the original leader of the Shinsengumi. He was a bona fide asshole, the worst kind of person, and half the reason their reputation was so awful back in the day. It didn't end well for him. And now Kondo's in charge, and life is better. In this fiction, anyway. History has different things to say about Kondo, but that is not why we're here. We're here to smooch. So, we're gonna do that. Okay. Also, yes, don't piss Hijikata off. He'll remove you. Or make it happen somehow. Alright. This is where we left off. At least I think this is where we left off. I hope this is where we left off. You still don't believe there's any actual smooching in this game? I promise there is. It's basically all in the second game, which was originally the second half of the game until they had to break it up into two. Because there's so much fucking content. Hijikata is the biggest badass. Actual Hijikata was also a badass, and I continue to maintain the fact that real life Hijikata was about as handsome as the fictional one. That was a giant surprise to me when I went and looked at his photo on Wikipedia. I still go and look at it every now and then. So handsome. Now then, shall we?
No news of my father came forth the other day, and somber restlessness took hold of me. Originally, it seemed Hijikata granted me approval to accompany the captains on their rounds through Kyoto to search for my dad. Then he called me in. Excuse me. I saw Okita and Heisuke had been summoned along with me, and I felt a partial sense of relief. It did a little to calm my chattering nerves, and I didn't want to be in a bad spot with Hijikata. You called me? Hijikata seemed to be in a foul mood, so I decided it was best to act with tact in his presence.
お前の行動さん探しの件だがな。しばらく様子を見ようと思う。
What? But why? We just started looking for him. Stopping now would surely cause any of our leads to run dry. His words stunned me. How could he back out on this? Hijikata remained deeply composed.
長州の連中が不穏な動きを見せている。本来ならお前を外に出せる時期じゃない。
I'd heard about how the warriors of the Choshu domain associate with the Imperial Nationalist Party. For some reason, they find foreigners repulsive, using brute force to prevent any foreign presence. All of their faith is aligned with the Emperor. The Shinsengumi, on the other hand, serve the shogun, meaning they are directly opposed. If the Choshu is active, it could mean that my own goal is of little concern to the Shinsengumi. I might become something of a burden to them. So are you asking me to refrain from joining the rounds until things with the Choshu domain settle? Hijikata nodded and turned towards the two men.
というわけで、今日からこいつを巡察に連れて行くのは取りやめだ。
なるほどね。だから当番の俺らが呼ばれたってわけか。
Heisuke seemed 2 steps behind Hijikata's words, until this very moment where it seemed to click.
でも今までだってこいつが巡察に迷惑をかけたこともないし、別にいいんじゃないかな。
そうそう、僕たちに何かあっても関わらないようにしてくれればそれでいいし、どさくさに紛れて逃げ出すこともないしね。
I won't run. I knew he wasn't being serious, but I couldn't stand to keep my mouth shut. I made up my mind the minute the men of the Shinsengumi agreed to help me find my father. I made a vow never to run from the Shinsengumi for as long as they helped me find my father. My desire to find my father showed no signs of slowing, even since I first arrived in Kyoto. I will keep my vow. So please, please allow me to continue looking for my father. I bowed to Okita, keeping my eyes locked with his. His smirk, however, shrunk slowly as he gazed towards me, caught in between words to say.
危険を承知でついてくるって言うなら、僕の一番組に同行してくれて構わないよ。それに、行動さんらしい人を見たっていう証言もあるしね。
確かにそういう証言もある。だが、危険だと分かってるところに、みすみす出すこともねえだろう。分かってるのか？お前らの足を引っ張りかねねえんだぞ。
I promise I won't cause any trouble. Please! If I lose the opportunity to search for my father, then the chances of finding him will sink.
Oh, the vid quality is 810 by 60? What? Hi, Danny. Does everybody else have, like, garbage video quality? Do I need to fix something?
Thank you for the host, Danny.
Interesting. Does it look super bad or is it okay? Oh, sorry, A1060. Whatever. My bad. Ah! Fuck. That's what I get for trying to use the controller. I'm gonna
行くか
fix
行かない
that.
かはお前が好きに判断しろ。
Hold up. Oh man. Dang it. Come on. Sorry. There we go. That's what I needed. The rewind feature is wonderful. Okay, gotcha. Spend it all on Heisuke and butt touches. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Now that I've gotten back to where I need to.
I lied prostrate before him, and Hijikata simply sighed heavily.
市中を巡察する組長の指示には必ず従え。いいな。
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. I didn't know how else to show my gratitude, so I bowed deeply again.
行くか行かないかはお前が好きに判断しろ。
All right. I had to make sure this was the best decision. There was something in his demeanor that made me unsure of my desire to leave the compound.
Yeah, that is a weird number. I wonder why. Why 810? Super bizarro. Ah, crap. Hold on, friends. I'm trying to get my window with the walkthrough back over here. No, I don't think the game is actually displaying it that. I don't know what the deal is. Oh goodness! Thank you! Thank you for the sub, Danny! Or more to the point, thank you, Grim, for all of your, like, gifting all these subs, you crazy, crazy person. Alright, Rude. We'll see you around. God dang it. I'm gonna stop using the controller because it's jacking everything up. Hold on. I wanted to try it because I thought it would make my life easier, but it keeps forcing me to do dumb things. There we go. I just slammed my keyboard a lot! Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. I had to make sure this was the best decision. There was something in his demeanor that made me unsure of my desire to leave the compound. Still, if I was with Okita or Heisuke, I'm sure I'd be safe and well protected. On the other hand, my presence could be an undue burden to them.
Alright, we're gonna leave and search for Dad. But we're also gonna save because hashtag save Heisuke.
Huh. It feels like there are more people walking around than usual. The streets of Kyoto were packed with people shuffling into the shops and businesses all over.
土方さんの反対を押し切って巡察に同行してるんだってこと忘れないでね。
Sorry. I was distracted by all of the people. The city is filled with so much more cheer. I guess I just couldn't help myself. Okita's eyes twinkled and he smiled voraciously, and I could sense him relax.
まあ祇園祭りも近いしね。街が浮き立ってるのは僕も否定しないけど。でも上位派浪士たちの動きが怪しいのは本当だから。僕たちから離れて勝手に動くのだけはなしね。
Okay. We walked down Kyoto's largest street, alongside the First Division. No one came within a few yards of us. They stepped away the moment their eyes caught the bright blue of the Shinsengumi's jackets. I noticed this phenomenon briefly when I first joined the Shinsengumi on their rounds, but it was clear the people of Kyoto feared them. Excuse me. I paused every so often to ask some of the less intimidated passers-by if they'd seen my father. I'm looking for someone. He's in his 40s and speaks with an Edo accent. He's a doctor, and he's a friendly, bald man. After a few hours of searching, I met someone who claimed to see a man matching my description.
そんな雰囲気の人ならしばらく前にそこのマス屋さんで見かけたよ。
As he spoke, he pointed toward a store selling wood and charcoal. Thank you so much! Okita caught my eye and gave me a stern look. He looked as if he was going to reprimand me when...
貴様ら浪人か。手取りなら判明を答えろ。
The cry came from a Shinsengumi soldier, and Okita turned, his lips tightening into a thin line.
ああ。よりにもよってこんなところで騒ぎを起こすなんてね。
His hand dropped to his sword as he ran toward the commotion. Townsfolk shrieked and ran like leaves before a gale. Whoa! In the sudden press of fleeing citizens, I found myself pulled away from Okita. For a moment I panicked, but realized that perhaps it was best. If I stayed close, he would have been forced to keep his attention on me. I hoped to avoid distracting him. I hid in an alley to watch, and I could return to the First Division once the tension simmered.
坊ちゃん、そこの坊ちゃん。巻き込まないよううちの店へ入りや。
Huh? I paused for a moment. A strange man was inviting me into his store. Not strange on the face of it, perhaps, but I was warned many times to be on my guard. I was about to politely refuse when I realized it was the store to which the man pointed earlier. Excuse me, but is this Masa's?
へえ、そうどす。
Great! You see, I'm looking for someone and...
キエモンさん、このガキ、さっきまで新選組の沖田と一緒にいたぜ。
Huh? I'm not of the Shinsengumi.
新選組だと逃げろ。
No, it's not like that. I'm just looking for someone. Even if I had been walking with them, the reaction of the store's customers seemed excessive.
君って本当に運がないよね。ある意味こいつらも僕もだけど。
He gave a small, unconcerned shrug and leapt through the door of the shop. Masu's exploded with the clang of blades, men swearing and scrambling across furniture. What is the meaning of this? What on earth just happened?
Welp. Oops.
Yakisoba! Oishii!
Please make sure you post pictures, Danny. I want to drool all over that delicious food.
When we returned returned to the Shinsengumi headquarters, Sanan had a number of less than pleasant words. We kneeled for some time as the colonel berated us before Okita finally spoke up.
そんなに怒ることないじゃないですか。僕たちは長州の患者を捕まえてきたわけだし。
When the fight was over, we discovered a massive arms cache and confiscated the entire thing. No one bothered to explain to me what was happening, however, and I was utterly lost.
怒ることではない。沖田君は面白いことを言いますね。マスやキエモンと身分を偽っている人間は長州の患者である古高俊太郎だった。我々新選組はその事実を知った上で彼を泳がせていた。違いますか
Sanan. Our favorite, right?
その通りですけど、でも捕まえるしかない状況だったんですよ。
まあ、宗司の言う通り、ある意味では大手柄だろうな。
でも古高を泳がせるために頑張ってた島田君や山崎君に悪いと思わないわけ？
The corners of Heisuke's mouth twitched into a smile, but Shimada interrupted him to continue.
東堂君のお気持ちもありがたいですが、我々のことはあまり気にしないでください。自分らも古高に対して手詰まりでしたから、沖田君たちが動いてくれて助かりましたよ。
So yeah, these two guys are effectively spies in the Shinsengumi ranks. They usually, like, go do stakeouts and covert missions rather than, like, patrol and fight. That's not to say that they aren't capable of doing those things. That's why frequently when we see Yamazaki dressed for battle, he is dressed like a ninja.
Yamazaki nodded in silent agreement.
古高捕獲はすでに済まされた事柄です。その結果に不満を述べるつもりはありません。
お前ら首相な奴らだね。それに引き換え掃除は。
It didn't seem Nagakura was going to let Okita get away without rubbing his mistake in his face.
Shimada has the dad voice, though. Hey, Renegade, welcome. You haven't missed much. We just started.
Both Kai Shimada and Susumu Yamazaki serve as Shinsengumi officers and spies under Hijikata. Aside from the captains who stay in the Yagi residence, they are some of the few people entrusted with the knowledge of my situation. In other words, these men are highly valued officers within the organization. Despite their resounding support, I felt a rush of guilt sweep up over me, and I spoke up. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. Some Ronin were causing trouble, so I tried to get out of the way. I got separated from Okita in the crowd, and I didn't go right back to him. Before I really realized what was going on, someone just started shouting at me.
君への監督不行き届きは誰の責任ですか?
He glared at me, his eyes hard and angry, and my throat tightly clenched into dryness.
一番組組長が監視対象を見失うなど、まったく情けないこともあったものですね。
Man, back off, Sanan. Jerk.
When I'd first met him, Sanan had been nice, if a little quiet. After his injury, however, it was as if he'd become an entirely different man.
外出を許可したのは俺だ。 こいつらばかり責めないでやってくれ。
Sannan looked up as Hijikata walked into the room. He gave the commander a tight, wry smile, but got only a peaceful, impartial glance in return.
Aw, renegade. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming by.
土方さんが来たってことは古高の拷問も終わったのか。
ああ、風の強い日を選んで京の都に火を放ち、あわよくば天皇を長州へ連れ出す。それが奴らの目的だ。
His voice was calm and measured, but we all felt the import of his words.
町に火を放つだ。長州のやつら、頭のネジが緩んでるんじゃねえの？
それ単に天使様を誘拐するってことだろ。尊王とか言ってるくせにやることはめちゃくちゃだよな。
何にせよ見過ごせるものではない。
Danny, you're just finding literally every emote that can convey Sanan. Complicated feelings, those. Maybe not really complicated. At all, actually.
奴らの会合は今夜行われる可能性が高い。お前たちも出動準備を整えておけ。
承知しました、副長。
よっしゃ、腕が鳴るぜ。
Even though each man displayed his professionalism differently, they were all clearly prepared. Alex, hi! Welcome! How are you? As they quieted down, Hijikata turned toward me as if he had only just noticed my presence.
それから高堂さんの件だ。西国の者と一緒に増屋に来たことがあるらしい。
What?
今日で見たっていう話は本当だったってことだ。だがそれだけだ。
My father with someone from the West? But my father went missing in Kyoto. How would he be with someone from the West? But no one had an answer for me. Preparations for the raid began immediately. Within moments, the compound was like a beehive, with soldiers and officers running back and forth. The tension felt thick enough to cut with a knife. I found it affecting me despite my best efforts. My encounter at Masu's created some of their current headache, and I'd hoped to make up for it. Hey, can I... oh. It became clear to me that I had very little to offer when it came to preparing for a raid. At the end of the day, all I could do was stay quietly to the side to avoid being a burden.
Oh goodness, Grim. You fell down the hole of the Boshin War, did you? Welcome back.
Just then, I heard someone's voice out of the blue.
動ける隊士が足りていない。近藤さんの隊は10名で動くそうだ。
俺ら土方さんの隊は24人だったか。隊士の半分が腹痛って笑えねえよな。
That's right. There were a handful of men who were bedridden from a swift food poisoning epidemic, leaving them short-handed in battle. They planned on dividing the troops in half. Kondo's troop will go to Ikeda Inn, and Hijikata's troop will head to Shikoku Inn.
そういえば、あいつらは使わないのか。夜の任務だし、うってつけだと思うんだ
Telling you, man, the Bakumatsu period is like really history rich. I enjoy reading about that considerably more than the Sengoku period. Although the Sengoku period is much more covered as far as a lot of like documentation goes. I have found exactly one book in English on the Shinsengumi. I'm not done reading it, but it was pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you for the follow, Alex. Them.
お前らが減らしたけど、まだ何人か残ってるはずだろう。
しばらく実戦から遠ざけるらしい。調整に手間取っていると聞いたが、血に触れるたび俺たちの指示も聞かずに狂われてはたまらん。
What? I swore I heard something before about a reaction to blood, but this was something I was not supposed to hear. The two men hadn't realized that I was listening to their conversation. But it was crucial that I don't say anything.
奴らも浮かばれねえな。戦うために選んだ道だろうに。
3、浮かばれないという表現は死んだ者に対して使うものだろう。
ああ、表向きは死んだことになってるが、本当は死んじゃいないしな。むしろめったなことじゃ死なねえし。
There was no doubt that what I was hearing was not meant for my ears. I shoved my fingers into my ears and closed my eyes tightly. The best I could do was make sure I didn't hear anything else.
雪村君、こんなところで何をしているのかね。
My eyes flew open to see Kondo in front of me. I couldn't just sit there. I told him the truth, how I'd felt so useless and left my room to find some way to help.
なるほどな。君の気持ちはよくわかる。打ち入り前で皆も高揚しているしな。
Yes. Excited. More like bloodthirsty, to be honest.
どうかね。君も一緒に来るか。
What? That was not what I'd expected him to say. You mean go on a raid with you? I don't know what I could...
実は腹を壊して動けない大使が多くてな。人手が足りんのだ。伝令役になってもらえるとありがたいんだが、もちろん君に無理はさせん。
You raise a good point. Now that he mentioned it, I did remember hearing that Kondo's troop only had 10 people in it. Well, alright, if I'll just be a messenger.
Kondo, the original starter of the pug for raids. Right?
His face split into a grin, and I found myself on the way to the Ikeda Inn to accompany their raid. Kondo's presence was relieving, and his good nature gave me comfort in asking him a question. Kondo, your uniform is different than the one your other men wear. The Shinsengumi's unique light blue uniform made it so anyone in Kyoto would recognize them. However, Kondo's uniform was white, almost cream, setting him apart from his men.
これか？暗いところに押し入った時にすぐに仲間だとわかるようにな。
I see. I didn't know the corp uniform came in so many varieties. Their usual uniform was well-fitting, and the colors stood out, but this white uniform was more elegant. I smiled while I looked at his uniform, and I braced myself for what was to come. Hour of the Dog.
which is like 8 p.m.
After we arrived at Ikeda, I was sent off on several short errands nearby. I returned to hear Nagakura talking to Okita.
こっちが当たりか。まさか長州藩邸のすぐ裏で会合とはな。
僕は最初からこっちだと思ってたけど、奴らは今までも頻繁に池田屋を使ったし。
だからって古高が捕まった晩にわざわざ普段と同じ場所で集まるか？普通は場所を変えるだろう。常識的に考えて。
Yeah, I know. The stuff that they actually put in the encyclopedia as you play through the game is pretty interesting and a pretty wide variety of knowledge. It gives you a pretty good sense of the culture. Then there are the ones where it's like literally they just put it in there because it was probably an obscure Japanese term that they then translated, so it's very redundant and doofy, but can't win them all. I still also say they really shouldn't have bothered translating demon. They should have kept it as Oni. But that's just me.
じゃあ、奴らには常識がなかったんだね。実際こうして池田屋で会合してるわけだし。
Nagakura and Okita's conversation was very light-hearted, which didn't suit the subject matter. Perhaps the Choshu were trying to trick the Shinsengumi. I certainly wouldn't have known. Whatever the reason for their behavior, however, neither Nagakura nor Okita seemed worried. Heisuke noticed me as I approached and jogged over.
どうだった？会津藩とか諸次第の役人まだ来てなかった。
To be honest, I didn't really see anyone nearby.
日暮れ頃にはとっくに連絡してたってのに、まだ動いてないとか何やってんだよ。
落ち着けよ、平助。
The larger man smacked Heisuke playfully on the shoulder with a bark of laughter.
あんな奴ら役に立たねえんだから、来ても来なくても一緒だろ。
だけどさ、新八さん、俺らだけで突入とか無謀だと思わねえの
？Heisuke frowned, and Takeda, who was on standby near behind Heisuke, nodded in agreement.
この人数で踏み込むなど無謀にも程がある。ここは会津藩の援軍を待つべきかと。
武田君がそう言うなら分かった。もう少しだけ待ってみよ
う。But no matter how long we waited, the officials never came.
Hour of the boar, which is approximately 10 p.m. So it's been about 2 hours. At least I think that's true. We can check the encyclopedia. I might be full of shit. Boop. Okay, 8 p.m., 10 p.m. Yep, okay, cool. I was right.
I looked up at the sky. The moon inched itself further across the sky since we'd arrived at the Ikeda Inn.
さすがにこれはちょっと遅すぎるな。
近藤さん、どうします？これでミスミス逃がしちゃったら無様ですよ。
The chief had been quiet all this time, but when Okita addressed him, he finally stood up to speak.
これ以上は待てん。宗司、長倉君、東堂君、俺についてきてくれ。
Okita nodded quietly but firmly.
では、私は表口を固めますから、皆さんご存分にどうぞ。
あ？武田さん来ないつもりかよ。
いいからいいから。中が暗くて間違って切られても困るし。あ、こっちが間違って切っちゃうかも。
沖田君、それはどういうことかな？
まあまあ、突っ込むのは気心が知れた方がいいだろう。というわけだから、武田さんは外を頼むぜ。
Can you tell they really like him?
雪村君、少し池田屋から離れていてくれるか。ここは危険だ。老子が降りてくるかもしれん。もっとも逃がすつもりはないがな。
All right. He stood up, smiled curtly, and ran to the inn.
会津中将わずかに老子隊新選組、戦意のため宿内を改める。
His declaration was met with a cacophony of yells and screams erupting from out of the inn.
わざわざ大声で討ち入りを知らせちゃうとか、すごく近藤さんらしいよね。
いいんじゃねえの？正々堂々名乗りを上げる。それが討ち入りの定石ってもんだ。
自分をわざわざ不利な状況に追い込むのが新八さんの言う定石？
Heisuke and Nagakura grinned at one another as they sauntered toward the inn.
御用改めである。手向かいすれば容赦なく切り捨てる。
Time to fight.
Then the battle began in earnest. The yells of men and the clang of swords filled the air, rolling out through the doors and the windows of the inn. I heard feet pound upstairs, the screams of men dying, the wet thud of bodies dropping to the floor. Well, there was someone, but all the men who'd come with the captains ran around the back and couldn't hear Nagakura. Takeda, on the other hand, was stationed outside to arrest anyone trying to flee the building. What should I do? The only person left to go help them was me. But even if I did, what could I do? That was when I heard Kondo. Nagakura called out from somewhere else in the inn. Oh no! I had no desire to enter a slaughterhouse with men killing one another. Even if I did, I had no illusions about my skill with a blade. I was sure to be killed before I'd even drawn it. But I could hardly stand around doing nothing. Perhaps if I couldn't fight, I could rescue the wounded, find them and carry them out of the inn. I made up my mind, steeled myself and ran inside. Inside, it was pitch black. The smell of blood hit me in the stomach like a fist, filling the air. There were dark lumps on the floor everywhere, the bodies of fallen men. Where were Okita and Heisuke? It had sounded like a good idea at the time, but as I looked around that charnel house, I realized there was no way I could carry two men outside. What should I do?
Obviously we're gonna go look for Heisuke.
I had to look for Heisuke. He was always looking after me, so it was time I returned the favor. I looked around the inn. What? Out of the darkness, a Ronin appeared, his sword at the ready, headed straight for me. As his sword swept down, another interposed itself between us. Nagakura's blade.
お前の相手は俺なんだよ。勝手に目移りしてるんじゃねえ。
The Ronin gurgled wetly as Nagakura drove his sword deep into the man's stomach. Blood exploded everywhere. Ugh. I felt my throat suddenly rise. So much blood.
こんなとこに呼んじまってすまねえな。奥に平助がいる。言ってやってくれるか。 この先には誰も行かせねえから、平助の面倒見てやってくれ。頼んだぜ。
With that, he turned around and brought his blade up to meet another Ronin's. Got it! I'm going to go to Heisuke, just as Nagakura asked. I turned and ran off through the battlefield of the Ikeda Inn had become. As soon as I got to the top of the second floor, I found him. Heisuke!
Whoops.
You're hurt! He blinked and looked around, almost as if he couldn't see me. Perhaps it was all the blood running from the wound on his forehead.
Baka! Omae nande kitan da yo?
What? What do you mean? I'm here because I was worried about you. I thought maybe I could help.
Baka! 危ないだろ。俺の心配とかしてる場合じゃないし。
Maybe, but that's a serious injury.
別に大したことないし、こんなの唾でもつけときゃ治るっつの。
Heisuke BB, don't try to act tough, man. Welcome back, Rude.
As he spoke, he turned around, his sword held in a ready position, prepared to defend me. But he was so weak. I could see that he only kept his grip on it with great effort. The Ronin across from us, on the other hand, was as silent and calm as a great statue. Wait. Things didn't seem right. Suddenly, I realized what it was. The Ronin had no sword. I didn't have the time to try and figure out what that meant, though. I had to...
We're helping Heisuke. That random noise was Tristan sneezing.
We had to do something about the Ronin. With grim determination, I laid my hand on the hilt of my sword. He saw me move, and Heisuke's eyes went wide. I'll fight too, then. I might not be able to help much, but I can watch your back. He looked stunned for a second, and then his mouth split in a grin.
無理無理。お前には5年くらい早いって。
I know. Poor Heisuke BB needs a band-aid like super bad.
It wasn't really the answer I'd expected to hear, and I couldn't help but laugh at it. The Ronin looked at us and sighed.
私には戦う理由がありません。
What? What did he mean?
君たちが引くというのなら、むやみに命を奪うつもりはありません。
He was letting us go? Considering the situation we were in, that was quite a favor. But how could we believe his word?
俺らには理由があるんだっての。長州の奴らを見逃すわけには。
Heisuke wobbled.
Hi, Mostly Sean. Heisuke's not dead. I don't know if okay is the correct term.
Heisuke! He could barely stand.
決めつけは歓迎できません。わた
Whoops.
どうして池田屋なんかに。
His words were forced, as if it took all of his effort to speak, and the tip of his sword was beginning to shake. He showed no fear, but his injuries were serious. He couldn't put any more power into his arms to the point of not being able to hold his sword.
命に関わる怪我ではないはず。早く手当てをするといい。
Why, thank you, Mr. Polite Bad Guy, for that assessment.
The Ronin took one last unreadable look at us, and then turned around to leave. Heisuke! He began to run after the Ronin, but he slipped in a fresh pool of blood and crashed to the floor. He made a few more grunts that sounded like attempts at further curses, then stumbled and collapsed unconscious. I need to stop the bleeding! Quickly, I tore off a section of my sleeve and pressed it against his forehead. Just as the man stated, it looked as though the blow only tore the skin, although it penetrated through to his skull. At last I felt myself relax. We were still in danger, but Heisuke's wounds didn't look fatal. That was when I saw the head guard lying on the floor. Huh? It must have been Heisuke's, but it had been cracked cleanly in half by something. Their fight must have been awfully intense. I was starting to feel dizzy from the stench of blood, but Heisuke needed me. I couldn't give up. Finally, the sun rose from the black sky. The raid itself had only lasted 2 hours. But for me, at least, it had felt far longer. There had been 20 Imperial nationalists at the Ikeda Inn. The Shinsengumi had killed 7 Ronin and injured 4 more. I learned later that with the help of the Aizu domain and the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, they arrested 23 people. The owner of the Ikeda Inn had also been arrested for trying to help the Choshu rebels escape. The Shinsengumi had won an incredible victory, fighting against superior numbers in enemy territory, but they paid dearly for it. Okita had taken a blow to the chest and lost consciousness. Heisuke had been cut on the forehead and the bleeding refused to stop. Nagakura had injured his left hand. One of the Shinsengumi soldiers lost his life at the inn's rear entrance, and 2 others were severely injured there as well. It didn't seem likely that they would survive. The Kyoto military and judiciary commissioners also fought the Choshu Ronin. With their successful resolution of the Battle of Ikeda Inn, the Shinsengumi had, at last, made a name for themselves. It looked as though the peace in Kyoto had been protected. Never could I have imagined what the ultimate result of their victory would be.
Moving right along. We gonna save. Bear with me as I take a little bit of a drink, my friends. Water is important.
End of July, 1864. Weeks passed since the Battle of the Ikeda Inn. In the meantime, the Shinsengumi grew stricter during their rounds to arrest the numerous outlaw Ronin that escaped from the Ikeda Inn. Rumors surfaced of extremists who were plotting to exact revenge on the Shinsengumi.
Water is important. It's half of coffee. That's correct.
Additionally, there were also problems occurring with warriors spanning from other domains, making things tense around the headquarters. Things were finally settling down. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they grew more encouraging of my involvement. The Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters on my own. One day, I was cleaning the courtyard with a broom when I heard gentle footsteps approaching me.
すみません。こちらが新選組の豚書ですか?
Yes! The voice came behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering.
君は?
Huh? Hijikata showed up suddenly, as if he telepathically knew I was speaking to someone. Hijikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, the man ran toward Hijikata.
あ、やっぱり、トシさん。八郎です。お久しぶりです。
How dare he be so cute?
おめえは八郎か。なんだってこんなところにいるんだ。
When Hijikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide.
驚きました。幕命で教視察に来てるんです。それより新選組って本当にトシさんたちのことだったんですね。この目で見るまでは信じられなかったけど、おめでとうございます。本当に侍になれたんですね。
Sean, do you? Do you?
おい、冷やかすなよ。まだ扱いは浪人と同じなんだからよ。
でも、侍になりたいって夢が叶ったじゃないですか。
I mean, like, based on this conversation alone, I almost ship these two.
冷やかすなって言ってんだろ
う。いいえ、江戸じゃ泣く子も黙る新選組と言ったらとても有名なんですよ。
I hear you, Renegade. Hanging out with the bro squad would be pretty great.
それに池田屋の話も聞いています。皆さんとてもご活躍だったみたいですね。
Yeah, of course they have two sets. That's pretty standard, really. That's the daisho. It's usually a katana and a wakizashi, I do believe. I have a set of decorative swords that I need to find a place to put up in my room. It's a 3 set though. It is a katana, a wakizashi, and a tanto, which is more like a dagger.
How very unlike himself. Hijikata seemed to be flustered and his cheeks were rosy. Judging from their conversation, it appeared that this gentleman had come to visit Hijikata. The rhythm of their rapport seemed to suggest that they had been friends for quite some time. Once I verified their conversation had come to a halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hijikata. Hijikata, may I ask who this is?
そうか。お前は初めてだったな。
まだ名乗っていませんでしたね。僕、伊庭八郎と言います。幕府直参旗本で大番士奥詰役を務めています。
I'm Chizuru Yukimura.
改めてよろしくお願いします。
Keep accidentally smacking the scroll wheel, which pops up the history.
Yes. Nice to meet you too. As soon as Iba and I finished our introductions, Hijikata was inclined to get us indoors.
まあ立ち話もなんだ。中に入ってくれ。
I took tea to the two in the hall. Hijikata told me to remain there, so I decided to listen in.
今日に来たのは奥詰めの仕事ってわけか。ずいぶんと出世したみてえだな。
An okuzume? I listened intently but subtly, since I was unfamiliar with the contents of their conversation.
奥詰めってのはな、将軍の身辺を守る奴らのことだ。
Oh, wow. I'm honored to meet such a man.
いえいえ、そんなことありません。父の仕事の縁でたまたまなんです。
But what would bring a man of his stature here, Hijikata? This meant Iba was someone who worked directly with the shogun. What an honor. It made no sense why he would interact with the Shinsengumi, or why he had business with us.
お前の考えてることはわかるぜ。なんで俺と知り合いかってことだろう。
Sorry, Hijikata. We're just curious as to why this fancy boy is slumming it.
I did my best to nod without offending him.
こいつはな、旗本であると同時に江戸じゃ4本指に入る道場の一つ、新行東流伊庭道場の跡取り息子だ。
Cracker boys!
その伊庭道場と俺たちがいた道場とはそこそこ交流があってな。その縁だ。
They're dojo buddies!
ええ、そうなんです。だからトシさんたちがいる今日に来ることになってとても楽しみにしていたんです。
勝手に喜んでろ。だが覚えとけよ、今日はそんなに楽しいところじゃねえからな。
Doge bros. In their brojo.
はい、肝に銘じておきます。でもそんなに危険なのに女の子でも大使が務まるんですか？
Shoku! He knows we're a girl! Iba glanced at me when he asked his question before looking to Hijikata. I gasped and cupped my hands over my mouth, and Hijikata's eyes darted toward me sternly. It would seem Iba picked up on the fact I was female, judging by their interaction.
もしかして秘密だったんですか？
Nah, dude, I'm just dressing like a boy because it's fun. Duh!
I didn't want to confirm any answers, so I stared toward the mat underneath without speaking.
こいつはちょいと訳ありで預かってて、表向きは男ってことになってる。新選組でも一部の奴らしか知らないことだ。だからここでも下手なことを口にしないでくれ。
わかりました。トシさんがそう言うなら守りますよ。
Well, that's a quote to take out of context and have a lot of fun with. Anyway.
Iba drew Hijikata in closer in a jovial manner, and Hijikata blushed at the notion.
Whoa. But like, I'm telling you, the ship is here.
Hijikata is normally really uptight, so seeing him behave this way was startling. I had a lingering suspicion that Hijikata was actually enjoying himself. All of the commotion must have alerted the captains because they popped up from nowhere.
You take this ship and sail off with it, Sean. Do it!
Oi, oi! Hachiro じゃねえか!
Oh look, the bro squad is here.
聞いたことがある声だと思ったらお前だったのか。
新八さん、原田さん、それに皆さんもお久しぶりです。
そうか、お前も今日に来たのか。武者修行か、それとも狂犬物か。
なわけねえし、お偉いさんの護衛とか視察なんだろ。
まあ、はい、そういうところです。
あんたが今日に来るとなると、それなりの職務に就いたということか。
Iba nodded plainly in response.
ふん、君も今日に来たんだ。ま、死なない程度に気をつけなよ。
I guess that's Soji's way of saying hi? Oh, Soji.
助言ありがとう。覚えておきます。
じゃあ、今度飲みに行くか。なんなら今からでもいいんだぜ。
Nakakura, as usual, is like, hey, let's go get drunk! Soji, meanwhile, is just like, oh, hey, welcome to Kyoto, don't die. Lol.
Each of the captains surrounded Iba and exchanged words. Most of all, Iba seemed lost in the amount of fun he had while conversing with everyone. I guess he really knew everyone back in Edo. Hijikata watched their interaction with warmth in his eyes and muttered.
あいつは旗本で、伊庭道場の跡取り息子のくせに、何が気に入ったのか知らねえが、俺たちとつるみやがってな。
Doll, Iba is a sweetheart.
He seemed to be especially fond of Hijikata, though.
What is that ship name?
But I couldn't dare say that.
まあ、ちょっとした顔なじみだ。訪ねてきたら中に通してやってくれ。
Understood. Before we knew it, evening had come, and Iba told us it was time for him to depart.
それじゃあまたね。
Okay. His face seemed reluctant, if not a little forlorn, and he left the compound. I stared at him as he walked into the distance until his small figure was removed from my eyes. Iba was a mysterious person. Even if he was someone very important in upper class, he acted with integrity and kindness, commanding a lot of respect from the captains of the Shinsengumi. I did not think there was a samurai like him in the shogunate.
We're gonna save our game. And I think this is actually a good spot to take a break and go refill my tea, because I am just about out. So let's do like a 10-minute breather, and we'll come back and do some more of this business. I see we've got quite the discussion going on about reboots and things. Mildly ironic since this is... Well, this game is not a reboot. It's technically like a remake, update, new version. But we're almost ready to come back. All right, we've got just a few seconds, so let's just do the thing. I grabbed some lemon ginger green tea, and I have no idea how it is because it's another one from a new sample. I get the feeling that this tea would be amazing if I had a cold. I don't know if it's going to be amazing while I'm healthy. It might be a little much. You are welcome, Anarsis. Also, I guess I should say you're welcome to summer. Yeah, the reactions. The reactions. Speaking of romantic, let's get back on this bullshit. Oops. 1 second. My apologies. I need to get the walkthrough back up so I know what choices to make.
After the fight at the inn, I was able to leave the compound much more often. I suppose after what I'd done, Hijikata thought I earned a little more trust. I didn't feel like I did anything extraordinary, but I wasn't about to look a gift horse in the mouth. I was genuinely happy that the man Hijikata approved of me.
Welcome back, Danny. Heisuke's alright. Although you do bring up a good point. We should check out. Our romance is sitting at a cool 30%. But we've got a ways to go. We're only in chapter 2. Closed. Closed! We have romanced literally nobody else. Whoops.
On this particular day, I was out on patrol with Harada in the 10th Division. Excuse me, Harada. The Shinsengumi is out patrolling day and night, right?
ああ、そうだぜ。それがどうかしたのか?
But what exactly is it that you do? Most of the men of the Shinsengumi were intimidating, death-dealing titans, but Hanada was a rare exception, warm and friendly.
ま、ピンからキリまで大小様々だな。筋切りや追いはぎはもちろん、食い逃げも捕まえるし、喧嘩も止める。
People who don't pay for food?
商家を脅して金を奪おうとする奴らも、俺ら新選組が取り締まってるよ。
It wasn't really the answer I'd expected. I guess the Shinsengumi's job is closer to a magistrate's than I thought. Thinking back, I remember how excited they were during the raid. What they did at the inn was far more intense than their day-to-day work. A little further down the road, a couple of men in Shinsengumi blues were waving at us. Nagakura! I guess our separate rounds brought us to the same spot.
Yo! 親父さんの情報、なんか手に入ったか?
No, nothing today.
なかなかすんなって。今日がダメでも明日がある。そうだろ?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There was something contagious about his optimism.
で、新八、そっちはどうだ? 何か異常でもあったか?
いや、なんも。けど、やっぱり町人たちの様子がせわしねえな。
I hadn't noticed it before, but he was right. They were acting strange, almost nervous. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to move.
ああ、戦火に巻き込まれる前に今日から避難し始めてるってとこか。
What? War? There wasn't a war, was there?
そういや、まだ教えていなかったな。長州の奴らが今日に集まってきてんだよ。その関係で、俺らも警戒強化中ってわけだ。
池田屋の件で長州を怒らせちまったからな。あいつらの仲間から犠牲が出ちまったし、黙ってられないんだろうよ。
Were the Choshu going to try something again?
さあな。まだはっきりしたことはわからね
え。どっちにせよ、俺たちは俺たちの仕事をする。長州の連中が今日に来ても追い返すだけさ。
They accepted their situation and never complained. I had a good deal of respect for Harada and Nagakura.
長州と戦か。もしかすると近いうちに上から出動命令が出るかもしれねえな。
So you think the Aizu will give you all orders?
ああ、正式に幕府の一部隊として参加することになるかもな。
そんな機会めったにないからな。せっかくだからお前も出てみるか。
What? I was perplexed by his sudden invitation. Does this mean I could march as a member of the Shinsengumi? It seemed rather inappropriate for me to ask to participate just for curiosity's sake. Still, I very much hope to be helpful in some way. Could I perhaps do something like what I'd done at the Ikeda Inn? However, there's also the chance that I become a hindrance as opposed to helping them out.
We are staying behind this time. Dang it.
I'll stay behind. Harada seemed to possess a still heart, garnering a voice that was slow but at peace. He didn't respond to my words, but he smiled kindly. Part of me felt safer leaving, just to avoid being in anyone's way. But I also wanted to stay here, appreciating this moment of peace for once. Although, How could I justify participating when I wasn't a true member of the Shinsengumi? I bottled up my feelings of contemplation and I just returned to the headquarters. A few days passed. Your medicine's ready. I was carrying medicine and some hot sake. The medicine was Ishida medicinal powder, which was manufactured by Hijikata's family.
Ta-da! This is actually a historical fact. Hijikata's family made some weird-ass medicine.
SojiとHeisukeに飲ませてやってくれ。それから三男さんにもだ。
Good night, Sean. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
Sannan's eyebrows rose at the mention of his name.
おや、私も飲むんですか？私の傷はもう塞がっていますよ。
試してみましょうよ、三男さん。この薬って何にでも効くらしいですから。
Sannan rolled his eyes but reached over to take his portion of the medicine and sake. He had been telling the truth, though. His injuries had healed, at least as much as they were going to, but his arm still refused to work properly. It was slowly becoming clear it would probably never work properly again.
石田三役は熱燗で飲むのが粋だよな。羨ましいぞお前ら。
羨ましいなら飲めばいいだろ。新発さんだって怪我人じゃねえか。
酒は飲みてえが、残念なことに俺の怪我はもう治っちまってるんだよな。
Danny. I'd forgotten that they had done televised dubs of Tenchi Muyo. When I watched it, I actually bought like the tapes and stuff, so I saw the uncensored version. Tea! I mean, I would freak out over tea. Tea's great.
Nagakura was injured at the Ikeda Inn, but he recently declared that he was completely healed, despite the fact that his wound still looked painful.
Y'all, my kitty that I had before all of these wonderful kitties that you all know of mine was named Tenchi. I had a big fat orange kitty that was born under my bed from a stray that we adopted, who I named Megumi. And, yeah. He lived to be 18. He was my BB. I might have a picture or two of him or a video. He was a lap cat.
I'd heard he had convinced Hijikata that his wounds weren't as bad as Okita or Heisuke's.
しかし、宗司と東堂君が怪我をするとはね。
あれは池田屋が暗かったから、普段の戦いなら遅れは取らないって。横合いから急に殴られたんだよ。おかげで8金なんて真っ二つだしさ。
拳で8金を割るか。随分と豪気な奴がいるもんだ。
Heisuke muttered something bitter and angry under his breath, but Harada just laughed.
あとなんだっけ、宗司から逃げ切ったやつもいたしな。
Okita only smiled quietly as Nagakura gestured toward him.
次があれば絶対に逃がしませんよ。次に勝つのは僕ですから。
Everyone began sharing their experience at the inn. Saito, however, remained silent. Is there something bothering you? I kept my voice low so as not to interrupt any of the other men in their conversation.
宗次らを負傷させるほどの実力者があの夜池田屋にいた理由を考えていた。
Oh no, Grim! Go get some rest! Hope you feel better. Hope it's nothing serious. Catch up on your sleep, my friend. The VOD will be here for you, worry not. Hey, weird guy! Welcome! Also, hey, Truant Hero! You snuck in and started speaking when I was on the break. And thank you again, Grim, for gifting all of those subs. You wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person, you.
Super sneaky desu.
"長州のものではないと言ったそうだが、池田屋も人払いはしていたはずだ。
Oh.
池田屋の人間と老子たちの目を盗み、何らかの目的で侵入したか。目的は違えども、行動を共にしていたのか。
Alright, Alex. Take care, my friend. Good luck with your D&D game. I hope you res that fallen party member. May all of your 20s be natural. Bye!
Now, 確実にわかるのは、奴らが相当の実力者だということだけだ。
Saito's so serious all the time. The sliding door suddenly flew open as Saito finished his sentence, and Kondo appeared.
会津藩から伝令が届いた。
As all conversation ceased, eyes turned to Kondo.
長州の襲撃に備え、我ら新選組も出陣するよう仰せだ。
A cheer went up from everyone present.
ついに来たか。待ちかねたぜ。
残念だったな、平助。怪我人はさすがに不参加だよな。
でもせっかくの晴れ舞台だし。
He turned to Hichikata, clearly hoping that the commander might give him special leave to go.
不参加に決まってんだろう。おとなしく屯所で留守をしてやがれ。
土方さん、鬼！この鬼副長！
なんだそれ褒めてんのか。つまきにされたくなきゃ黙ってろ。
Damn, Hijikata! He's the strictest dad.
Heisuke's mouth snapped shut. I didn't think Hijikata would actually stab one of his own men, but neither did I think he would go easy on any of them, even if they were injured.
東堂君、怪我人は足手まといらしいですから、素直に屯所で留守をしましょう。
Zanan! I know Misery loves company, but dude!
仕方がねえか。 わかった。今回は留守番してるよ。
Fair rude. Yeah, you don't call dad a demon and a monster and expect him not to threaten to gut you.
僕も今回は諦めようかな。参加したいけど本調子じゃないし、ちょっと外で涼んでこようかな。
Okita sighed and got up to leave. I assume I'll be staying here as well? Hey, Killer T-Wolf! Kondo nodded.
ああ、掃除と平助がダダをこねんよう見張っておいてくれ。
He let out a short laugh and several men grinned. Before long, the Shinsengumi had left for the front, leaving only a handful of soldiers in the silent compound. So, what should I be doing when they're out? Oh, right. Kondo had asked me to keep an eye on Okita and Heisuke. I think Okita was in the inner courtyard. To be honest, I was a little concerned for him. He was still recovering, and being out in the cold air wasn't doing him any favors in that regard. Still, that left Heisuke and Sannan. Maybe they're still in the common room. Heisuke seemed particularly frustrated at being forced to stay behind, and Sannan had been even colder and more distant lately. I was worried for Okita, of course, but I felt there was something deeper affecting the other two. Where should I go?
We're gonna save first. Glider con. Oh, for sugar gliders? Cool. Aw. Yeah, save up and go the next year. Cons are expensive. Any kind of con. Alright, we are going to the common room because that is where our husbando is. And I mean Heisuke, of course. Absolutely fucking not. Sannan. P.S. This lemon ginger green tea is actually really good.
I heard Heisuke and someone else talking as I walked down the hall. They were in the common room then.
俺も行きたかったな。別名あるまで豚書で待機とか退屈すぎだって。
深い傷ではありませんが、大事を取るのは当然でしょう。
It sounded as if Sannan was actually trying to cheer Heisuke up. How long had it been since I'd heard Sannan say something nice to someone? He was a very kind man, once upon a time. I missed that, Sannan.
そりゃ確かに怪我は怪我だし、豚書の留守も大事なのは分かってるけど。
君は傷さえ癒えれば、すぐに新選組の表舞台へ戻れますよ。それに比べて私には日陰者の道しか残されていないのですから。
Well, if you weren't acting like such a douche half the time.
それは、なんていうか。
An awkward silence fell over the room.
Oh my, a narcissist. I will be sure to pass it along when I have a game like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have to go far on the internet to find fan art of exactly that from this game. But not saying that I have any of that possibly on my hard drive. Let's move right along and get back to the story, shall we?
It would have been rude for me to speak up, having left the inn unharmed on that fateful night. But if I pretended to enter for another matter...
I mean, I just save good-looking fan art. Half the time the subject matter is irrelevant, to be quite honest.
It would make it clear that I was eavesdropping. I had no choice then. I had to return to my room. As I turned to do so, Sanan's voice stopped me cold.
しかし、あの薬を使えば、私も再び剣を取ることができるかもしれません。
Treatment? What did he mean by that? Medicine? But he was already taking the Ishida powder. Unless he was talking about something else.
何考えてんだよ、三男さん。本気で羅刹になるとか言ってんの？
Heisuke shouted at Sannan. What was this conversation about? Something about this conversation seemed familiar. I heard them mention something like it around when I first arrived. We were eating dinner together when we'd received the news of Sanan's injury.
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
そうじ。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Not quite this point, but we are about a chapter and a half away from that.
They'd mentioned the serum then, too. Are they talking about that?
あれは結局失敗になったんだろ。だから宗司とはじめくんが殺すことになったし。
Okita and Saito had to kill them? That night was an experience I would never forget. But what did it have to do with this treatment?
確かにあの薬は未完成ですが、行動さんさえ見つかれば改良の余地はあります。
Father? What did Father have to do with their treatment? This was a great deal of information to take in. My mind was a hurricane of thoughts, suspicions, and fears trickling through the corners of my mind.
That's a weird statement. Editing sometimes doesn't happen like it should in this game. Still decent writing, regardless.
Even as I struggled to make sense of what I'd just heard, I knew that I had stumbled onto something dangerous. Something I shouldn't know. Suddenly, I wanted very much to be gone. Why did I stay and listen? I was such a fool.
申し訳ありませんが、今の話は他言無用でお願いしますね。
Fuck!
His cold, quiet voice filled the empty hall. Maybe the words that came out of Sanan's mouth were directed strictly to Heisuke. Heisuke responded with a furrowed brow.
いや、気持ちはわかるけどさ。俺は絶対に反対だから。
I helplessly felt like those words were directed towards me. I scurried from the area as I grasped my fast-beating heart. If what Sanan had suggested really did happen... As silently as I could, I moved down the hall and away from the common room. Back to the room I suddenly wish I'd never left.
Welps. We're gonna save. We missed all the sweet, sweet action at during the Hamaguri Rebellion. But in favor of learning more about Heisuke and Sanan and yay! Last time we played this, we did go and do the Hamaguri stuff and, like, met Kazuma and shit like that. It's okay, Chizuru. Your father's only Frankenstein and he's creating monsters. No big deal. It's cool.
The Choshu extremists' attempted attack on the imperial estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. Although the Shinsengumi were called to action, their efforts were stymied, and they found little in the way of glory. Communication with their superiors was poor at best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with the reserves. When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, each man found several strange opponents awaiting him. Chikage Kazuma, who defeated Okita at Ikeda, claimed to be from the Satsuma domain during his encounter with Hijikata. Hyuju Amagiri, the man who shattered Heisuke's headguard at Ikeda, also claimed membership in the Satsuma. They had also met Kyo Shiranui, who'd fought alongside men from Choshu. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. By the time the battle was over, the commanders of the Choshu attack had been killed in the fighting, or took their own lives. There were some soldiers, however, who escaped, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled.
It's the all bad boy idol group, right? Right?
By some terrible misfortune, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of the imperial estate to ash. As a result of the Choshu attack, many imperial nationalists were executed. With the Hamaguri Rebellion over, the Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were acknowledged enemies of the court.
Heck yeah, the blonde is the centerpiece. He is the leader, in giant air quotes. I say leader because Amagiri technically follows orders given by him / looks out for him in a vassal kind of way. Shiranui does whatever the fuck he wants, basically.
September 1864. The closeness in time between the battles of the Ikeda Inn and the Imperial Palace created civil unrest within Kyoto. The Shinsengumi redoubled their efforts to keep people safe, but the more they worked, the more the shogun put them to work. His approval of their activities meant more official business, and it stretched them thin. Even with recruits from Kyoto and Osaka, it wasn't enough. After many discussions, the Shinsengumi chose to recruit even more men from Edo, and Heisuke was tasked with preliminary scouting in the city. The hardened sun kissed our burning cheeks as Kondo and I saw Heisuke off, his grin wide and his bags packed from the night before.
さて、じゃあ行ってくるとすっか。俺がいない間、みんなのことよろしくな。
No, Heisuke, don't go. Okay. I promise to help as much as I can.
大使募集の件頼むぞ平助。俺も来月には江戸に行くからな。
The plan was for Heisuke to hit Edo early and scope the potential men, and have Kondo follow behind a month after to make the final say with recruits. Isn't there someone you mentioned wanting to see? I remember you saying something like that. Bye, honey. Have a good time at work.
雪村君はまだ聞いていなかったか。確か名は伊藤さんと言ってたな。北進一刀流の剣客で学もある人らしい。
Oh no, not Ito. Why? Why Ito? He's gonna ruin everything.
まあ正直言うと伊藤さんとはそこまで親しいわけじゃないけどさ、多分話は聞いてくれると思う。
Yeah, y'all remember Ito, right? Yeah, cause history.
それで十分だ。伊藤さんは尊王派と聞いているが、義を持って話をすれば必ずや力を貸してくれるに違いない。
Kondo nodded confidently, but Heisuke looked like he wasn't quite as sure.
よし、それじゃあそろそろ行ってくる。コードさんのこともできるだけ調べとくから期待して待っててくれよ。
Okay, be careful. I watched him go, and the smaller his back became, the lonelier I felt. When I couldn't see him anymore, my heart twinged. I glanced up at Kondo. You look happy. You're thinking about all the new warriors you're getting, right?
ああ、やはり大使が増えるのは嬉しいものだ。それが有能な人材ならなおさらだよ。
I mean, Heisuke's off to go to Edo, but at least we get to hang out with good dad.
He puffed out his chest and grinned. His relief at recruiting new members reflected just how worried he must have been. I hadn't realized how much we were struggling. Kondo kept his men close to his heart, and now he could smile. Time passed quickly after Heisuke left, and a month soon went by. The day for Kondo to leave for Edo was upon us, and I saw him off the next morning. I came across Kondo in the yard, mired in his thoughts. Hello, Kondo.
ああ、雪村君か。どうかしたのかい
Oh, no, nothing like that. I was just thinking about how you'll be on your way to Edo tomorrow.
ああ、その通りだ。平助をあまり待たせるわけにもいかんからな。
I haven't actually checked a map, but I'd be curious to know about how long the journey from Kyoto to Edo actually is. Or would have been in this time, I guess is more accurate to say. Edo, of course, eventually being renamed to Tokyo.
It'll be a little lonely around here once you've left headquarters too.
何留守は都市に任せてあるし、いないと言ってもほんの一月程度だよ。
He didn't know his kind generosity and Heisuke's bright personality kept me going day after day here. And they were the highlights of my restrictive life. With both of them gone, Kondo hadn't even left yet, and I was already feeling an uncontrollable loneliness sweep over me. It must have shown on my face because he suddenly looked troubled.
そうだ。せっかく江戸に行くわけだし、何か土産でも買ってこようじゃないか。君もふるさとが懐かしかろう。
Oh, No, I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me.
そうか。では他に俺にできることがあれば言ってくれ。できるだけ期待に沿おう。
Kondo is the best.
He was always so accommodating to me already. I didn't have any complaints. But there was something I'd desired for a while, but never had the nerve to ask before. Before you leave for Edo, could you train me?
稽古ひょっとして剣の稽古という意味かね。
Hell yeah.
Yes.
いや、それはいかんだろう。俺の指導は荒っぽいからな。怪我でもさせたら行動さんに申し訳が立たん。
I want to marry Heisuke. Is that all right? I mean...
Oh.
しかし、ずいぶん唐突な頼みだが、何か理由でも。
His eyebrows furrowed in concern.
We apparently picked the correct answer last time, so...
I want to watch over everyone while you're gone. If I'm going to help watch over the compound while you're gone, I want to be capable.
いや、しかし、君は大使ではないし、刀を振るう機会などまずないとは思うが。
You're right, but still, I want to be strong enough to be able to protect myself, at least the bare minimum, if something were to happen. Having witnessed many battles with the Shinsengumi, it was pretty clear how far behind in skill I was. I would fall quickly if I dealt with similar battles. I knew I'd never be as strong as them, but war could still reach my doorstep someday as well. I wanted to lessen the burden for my protectors. I tried my best to explain how I felt to Kondo, and eventually he gave a firm nod.
はい、わかった。そこまでの熱意を持っているなら、俺も喜んで稽古に付き合おう。
Oh boy, here we go.
We found a cord to tie up my sleeves and set about training me. Normal Shinsengumi training revolved around real-life sparring with wooden swords. Kondo decided to go easy on me with a bamboo stick.
では、早速始めるとしよう。先に言っておくが、天然理心流は少々荒っぽいぞ。
Right. I'm ready.
ならば、まず構えから見ようか。雪村君は剣術を習っていたんだったな。
Yes. It was mostly for self-defense, but I did receive instruction in fighting with the Kodachi.
ならば、身についた型を崩すことはない。その流派の型で構えてみてくれ。
Okay. Bamboo stick in hand, I moved to the familiar stance that I'd memorized during my training.
握りが甘い。
Like a whip, his harsh words stung as he barked.
いいか。正面から切り合いになった時、真っ先に間合いに入るのは刀であり、刀を持つ手でもある。握りが甘ければ、その時点で容易に刀を落とされてしまう。これは気をつけねばならん。
Okay! He hit me with the full brunt of his stringent teaching. I could see he was taking this seriously. He wasn't going easy on me because I was a girl.
今度は固く握りすぎているな。君の場合、腕力の問題で敵の斬撃を正面から受け止めるのは避けるべきだ。となると、自然斬撃を受け流す形になるが、この場合だと逆に固く握りすぎていては。
We just learned sword stuff. Yay.
With Kondo's instruction, I practiced swinging the sword over and over, doing my best to learn and retain everything he was teaching me.
もうこんな時間か。
His words brought my head up and I blinked. The sun set without me realizing, pooling below, and the sky was now shades of red and purple.
That was a startlingly accurate instruction. I'm telling you, man, the writers in this game, like, did their homework. It's surprising, but beautiful.
Suddenly in the real world again, fatigue slammed into me and I collapsed to my knees. Thank you for doing this for me. Every limb was shaking, my clothes completely drenched in sweat. I sucked in air like I couldn't get enough of it. Kondo glanced over at me when I fell to the ground, and his strict teaching expression immediately switched to one of deep concern.
すまなかった雪村君。俺としたことがついつい熱が入ってかなり無茶な練習を。
I'm fine. The fact that you forgot and ended up teaching me that way, even though I'm not your student. Thank you. It made me really happy.
そうか。そう言ってもらえると少しは救われる気がするよ。
His face was a mixture of relief and guilt.
Kondo is totally best dad.
しかし本当にすまなかった。こんな風に稽古をつけるのは久しぶりで、昔を思い出してつい厳しくしてしまったよ。
You mean before you came to Kyoto?
その通り。俺とトシ、宗司に源さんは司令官という道場で天然理心流を学んでね。それ以外に三男君、東堂君、長倉君、原田君が転がり込んでいたよ。そういえば斉藤君も顔を出していたな。今は機会も減ったが、あの頃はよく互いに手合わせもしたものだ。
If I remembered correctly, talk of the old days came up once one night, when everyone was well into their sake. Kondo's family were farmers, but it was discovered that he had remarkable skill at sword fighting. The owner of Shie Hall decided to adopt him so he could continue training, and that's where he met Hijikata, along with everyone else. It must have been rough doing all that training.
確かに厳しかったが、今とはまた違う意味で充実していたよ。
He gazed off into the distance, clearly reminiscing, and I felt a tiny pang of envy. If I had been born and raised near Mibu, would I have met all of them under different, better circumstances? Kondo turned to look down at me kindly, a gentle smile on his face.
先ほど雪村君は門弟ではない私になんてことを言っていた
Huh?
が、今天然理心流4代目である俺が直々に指導したということは、ある意味では君も天然理心の門下だ。いわばトシや宗司、源さんとも同門ということになるな。
Thank you! It was obviously not official, and it was barely a day's worth of instruction, but I was happy. I couldn't stop smiling. My heart felt so light. Kondo, I'm so grateful. Thank you for today. My mind and heart were still reflecting on the wonderful thing that just happened. I returned to my room with my head held high. I'd been staying there for a while now, but sometimes I still felt like I was baggage to them. They needed me for one thing and one thing only. I was never really a part of them, nor did I belong. But now, Kondo's words filled in some of the holes in my heart. Just a little, but I treasured the feeling. Smiling, I collapsed onto my futon. The strain and fatigue from earlier was a good feeling, and I let it drag me under to sleep.
I would assume she's gonna be hella sore in the morning after that workout. Ooh, chapter 3! We should save. We should definitely save. Yep. I think we've been there like a year now.
Welcome back, Denny!
Yeah, now shit's about to hit the fan. Kind of.
The dawn of the new year arrived. It was February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea's ready!
おお、すまないね、雪村くん。
I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea.
やっぱり寒い日には厚めのお茶がうまいね。
Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way, and that was a nice feeling.
I know, Gen is so nice.
Nice! Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present.
八木さんたちにも世話になったが、この短所もそろそろ手狭になってきたか。
まあ確かに狭くなったな。大使の数も増えてきたしよ。
広いところに移れるんならそれがいいんだけどな。雑魚寝してる連中かなり辛そうだしよ。
だな。前川邸で寝起きしてる連中なんて毎晩押し寿司みてえになりながら寝てやがるぜ。
That has to be the most god-awful, unsanitary conditions, and it's no wonder that these guys are like constantly sick and shit. Gah.
あれじゃ疲れが取れねえだろうし、なんとかしてやりてえよな。
そんなこと言ったって僕たち新選組を受け入れてくれる場所なんてないでしょう。僕たち今日の嫌われ者だしね。
A person sitting beside Kondo pointed at the map spread upon the table.
西本願寺というのはどうかしら?
Oh look, it's our favorite person.
西本願寺ですと？先方の同意を得られるとは思えませんが。
Takeda is also intolerably awful, but at least he's pretty.
でも数百人の大使が寝起きできるほど広い場所なんて他にないでしょ。それにあの場所ならいざという時も動きやすいと思うのだけど。
This man was named Kashitaro Ito, recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as the Shinsengumi's military advisor and deputy commander. He developed his notoriety teaching Hokushin Ito in his dojo, and he's known for his scholarliness.
それに西本願寺は以前長州浪士をかくまっていたこともあると聞きますわ。
This guy got recruited by Heisuke while Heisuke was out in Edo. He's bad news. And like a gigantic priss. But anyway.
我々が西本願寺に移れば、浪士たちは身を隠す場所を一つ失うことになります。
Unless you were referring to Takeda, which is a different story. Anyway.
そこまで考えての選定というわけですか。なるほど。
Alternate sun on creep. I'll let chat determine if you should spill those beans, Lynn.
Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose.
僧侶の動きを武力で抑えつけるのはいかがなものかと思いますが。
God damn it, there's too much awful on the screen right now. Although, in fairness, I actually like Sanan's design. Anyway.
Ito's brow twitched, as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sanan directly.
自社を隠れ蓑にして好き勝手な振る舞いをしていたのは長州浪士の方ではなくて、今日の治安を乱す不逞浪士に配慮して差し上げるなんて、三男さんもお優しいこと。
Don't worry, Danny. I still think he's the worst.
Ito's deflection of Sannan's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sannan.
尊上過激派を抑える必要があるという点に関しては同意しますが。
じゃあなんだ？
Hello? Look at this J-Rocker. I think he fell off the back of the Wakaki bandwagon.
切り合うときは、やあやあ我こそはって名乗りを上げて、正々堂々とやるべきだとでも言うつもりか。
I don't know who does his voice. I haven't looked it up. But I'll like it. This might have been where you came in, Anarsis. Pretty man! Can you believe these two are related? Miki here is Ito's younger brother.
不逞浪士どもがそんな鎌倉武士みたいなご作法に付き合ってくれりゃいいがな。
三郎、口を慎みなさい。
Fucking Ito. Watch your mouth now, darling.
もっと悪い。つい本音が出た。
Flashy, edgy anime dude.
The other man beside Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood.
皆さん方、ごめんなさいね。この子は昔から口が悪くて。三男さんもお気を悪くなさらないでくださいな。あなたのような方も新選組を大きくしていく上では必要だと思いますし、たとえ左腕が使い物にならなくとも、その才覚と学識は タイのために大いに役立つはずですわ。
Wow. Wow.
I watched as Sun unbit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. The tension was cut by another voice.
伊藤さん、今のはどういう意味だ？
Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade slicing across a whetstone. Ito seemed taken aback and his eyes grew wide.
あんたが言うように、三男さんは優秀な論客だ。けどな、剣客としてもこの新選組に必要な人間なんだよ。
Hijikata only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. However,
ですが、私の腕は。
I was gonna say, yeah, this must have been where you came in, Anarsis, because, like, Hijikata freaking unleashed on Ito. And God, is he terrifying when he yells.
he couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hijikata realized his words were reminding Sannan of what he used to be, causing Sannan to curl his lips into a frown.
ごめん遊ばせ。私としたことが失言でしたわ。
Yeah, you better, Ito.
三男さんは皆さん方の大切なお仲間ですものね。仲がよろしくて結構なことですわ。新たに入隊した大使たちも同じ気持ちでいてくれるといいのですけど。
Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger towards Ito. Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
とりあえず、豚書移転の件に関しては、もう少し話し合ってから決めるということで。伊藤さん、この後お付き合いを願えますかな。先ほどの件について、もう少し詳しい話をお聞きしたいので。
ええ、喜んで。
Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them.
近藤局長、私もご一緒して構いませんか？
いいとも。ぜひ君も伊藤さんの話を聞いて、大いに見識を広めてくれたまえ。
No, somebody save Dad from these two awful sycophants.
新選組幹部といえど、剣術ばかりではいかんからな。これからは広い視野と深い知識を身につけねばな。
は。
Kondo left the common room with Ito and Miki, however, who still sat before us.
I know, it's really not fair that they made Takeda super fucking handsome because he's so terrible. Although, I guess the same applies to Miki. He is also awful in pretty much every way, but really handsome.
He smirked coldly towards us and he slinked off to leave the common room. Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible.
まったく、誰なのさ、あんな人たちを連れてきたのは。
犯人はまだ江戸にいるだろう。平助の野郎、帰ってきたらとっちめてやる。
伊藤さんは尊攘派なんだろう。長州の奴らと同じ考えの奴がよく新選組に入る気になったもんだな。
尊皇攘夷だからって長州と同一視されるのは心外らしい。そもそも尊皇とは
Danny has strong opinions about some of these guys. It's fine. We all do.
とかなんとかわけのわからねえことを抜かしてやがったんだよ。近藤さんも近藤さんであっさり丸め込まれやがって。
No, save Dad!
近藤さんってお人よしですからね。ああいう口がうまくてお腹の中が真っ黒な人に騙されやすいんだよな。
Behold, as Okita really calls them the fuck out. All of these boys are very lovely and I have a lot of feelings! There has not been a truer statement in the chat this night.
その伊藤さんが参謀で、弟が9番組組長か。めんどくさいことになったぜ。
Eventually, Hijikata approached Sannan, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame.
三男さん、あんな奴の言うことなんざ気にするんじゃねえぞ。
Sannan laughed dryly and shook his head.
伊藤さんは学識も高く、弁舌に優れ、剣の腕も確かな方ですよ。
I have such a hard time believing that like pompous friggin' like sissy looking dude is good with a sword, but okay. I guess they wanted to make sure Ito wasn't accidentally likable.
優秀な参謀の入隊で、ついに総長はお役御免というわけですね。
Yeah, Sanan's voice actor does a great job making him sound creepy.
おい、三男さん。
Sannan left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall.
三男さんも気の毒にな。あの調子だから近頃は大使連中にも避けられちまってる。
What? But why?
無理もねえだろう。どんな言葉をかけても全部悪く取られちまうし。何を言っても皮肉と嫌味しか返ってこねえから、大使たちも怯えちまって近づかねえんだよ。
Oh no. Poor Sannan. Even though I knew I hadn't...
What? Words.
Even though I hadn't been here as long as the captains, I knew Sannan was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury.
土方さん、伊藤さんたちなんて適当な理由をつけてさっさと追い出しちゃってくださいよ。あの人たちが来てから僕、毎晩嫌な夢ばっかり見るんですよね。
んなことできるわけねえだろうが。近藤さんはすっかり伊藤さんに心酔してるみてえだしな。伊藤さんと一緒に入隊してきた連中もそんな扱いをされりゃ黙っちゃいねえだろう。
Oh, they'll make a stink if he disappears, and that's definitely happening later.
役に立たない人だな。無理を通すのが鬼副長の役目でしょ。
んじゃてめえが副長やりゃいいだろうが。で、あいつらを追い出せ。
嫌に決まってるじゃないですか。そんなめんどくさいの。
The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seems no one spoke in his defense. Only one, during all of this, quietly sipped his tea. Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup. So, what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is.
さまざまな考えを持つ者が属してこそ、タイというのは広がりを見せるものだ。
So then...
だが無理に広げようとすると、内部から瓦解を始めることもある。
His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considerate of Ito to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster.
Oh noes.
The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came out into the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring will take a while. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sannan and his condition that truly worried me. I really wish his arm would just heal. That arm, or perhaps more accurately the lack of it, was the source of his change in personality. Still, as nice as it would be for Sannan's arm to simply start working again, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered.
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
掃除。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Okita was talking about the Shinsengumi having some secret serum back in the day. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. But... And I was not to know about the existence of that serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. But... I'm the doctor...
Daughter of a doctor. Huh. The doctor's daughter?
But I'm the daughter of a doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did.
What do I do? We're gonna investigate. God dang it. There we go.
I'm going to muster the courage to look into this. But where should I investigate? My room is in the Yagi house. There are some rooms that I'm not allowed to enter, but the captains live here as well. And I'd finally learned how to navigate the building. However, there was another building that was a part of headquarters for the Shinsengumi, aside from the Yagi house. Some of the leaders, along with other warriors, live in the Maekawa house, diagonal from Yagi.
And my cat is blocking the screen. Go on, Tristan. Reading is hard when you have a cat in the way.
And Sannan, who's injured, has been holed up in the Nambu residence, located behind Yagi. Since it's a residence, one cannot just stroll there casually, and since it's barely used by anyone other than Sannan, it is a little isolated. If there are secrets being kept from me, then they have to be kept in a place I'd never think to check. If I were to look into it, it would either be in the...
Maekawa? This was that spot where editing kind of fucked up again. So, you know, Maekawa or the forbidden areas of the Yagi residence, I guess? Question mark? Oh, the Nambu house. Derp to derp. Okay. We're going to investigate the Yagi house because that's what it says to do.
It was night at the Yagi house and dead silent. I tiptoed down the halls as quietly as possible. Huh? Were my ears playing tricks on me? Or did someone just walk into the common room? I would be in trouble if someone saw me, so I did my best to blend into the shadows and hide. After a few moments of heart-pounding seclusion, my curiosity got the best of me. I departed my hiding place and crept toward the common room. I peered inside. inside was Sannan. I wonder why. Something felt wrong. I just stood there. What is Sannan doing here late at night? I was at a loss. Should I speak to him, or... Before I could make up my mind, he turned.
まさか君に見つかるとはね。正直予想していませんでしたよ。
Sannan gazed directly at me and muttered.
No, we skipped straight to the Yagi residence, so we didn't run into Soji. If you try to leave and go to the Nambu residence, Soji will catch you. This scene is going to be a little different because we're going to make one slightly different choice. And actually, thank you, Moobot. Saving is pretty much a good idea. Who gonna save us? Nobody.
雪村くん、そこにいるのでしょ?
I guess he spotted me. I gave up and made myself visible to Sannan. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was snooping or watching what you were doing.
別に叱るつもりはありませんよ。夜中に怪しい人影を見かけたら気にかかるのは当然でしょうしね。
No, just set him on fire.
It was very subtle, but I noticed something was off in Sannan's attitude. He had a peaceful smile, something I hadn't seen for what felt like ages. It was a bit too peaceful, as if his worries had suddenly left him. It was an expression I have never seen since he's gotten injured. Sannan? Did something good happen?
ええ、ありましたよ。というより、ようやく決心できたと言うべきでしょうか。
Something swished in his hand. Sannan, what is that?
これが気になりますか?
After his cryptic reply, he showed me what was in his hand. Sannan was holding a small bottle made from fine idro. The glass was filled with a crimson liquid that looked like a poisonous chemical to me.
これは君の父親である光道さんが幕府の密使を受けて作った薬です。
What? The shogunate ordered my father to do something?
もともと西洋から渡来したものだそうですよ。人体に劇的な変化をもたらす飛躍としてね。
What do you mean by utterly transform?
単純な表現をすると、筋力や自己治癒力の増強でしょうか。
It sounded like something out of a fairy tale. If such a thing were to truly exist, the serum would be considered a miracle cure, but...
しかし、この薬には致命的な欠陥がありました。
Yeah, it makes you crazy.
His smile twisted only a little.
強すぎる薬の効能が人の精神を狂わすに至ったのです。薬を飲んだ人間がどうなったか、その姿は君も目にしたことがありますね。
Of course. I'd seen the result of that madness the night I first met the Shinsengumi. Okita and Saito had killed off that monster with the white hair.
君は察しがいいですね。そう、あの時の大使たちですよ。 薬を与えられた彼らは理性を失い、血に狂う化け物となり果てました。
His words brought a sharp chill down my spine. How horrible.
切り合いの最中、血が流れるたびに狂っていては、強靭な肉体を手に入れた意味がありません。行動さんは新選組という実験場でこの薬の改良を行っていたのですよ。
No! My father? Conducting experiments on human beings that made them go mad at the sight of blood? I couldn't believe it. No, I didn't want to believe it. But there was no reason for Sun-Nun to lie either. I saw it before my very eyes. Then did Father really? Sun-Nun shrugged off my disbelief and continued.
しかし残念ながら彼は行方不明となり、薬の研究は中断されてしまいました。行動さんが残した資料をもとにして私なりに手を加えたものがこれです。
He smirked and shook the bottle gently. The liquid inside sloshed from side to side almost lazily.
その原液をできる限り薄めてあります。
I had so many questions to ask him, but I didn't even know where to start. So I simply spoke the first thing that came to mind. If you drink that, will you be okay? So, that serum, will it prevent you from going mad?
まだわかりません。誰にも試していないものですから。
His smile faded.
ですが、飲めば私の腕は治ります。薬の調合が成功さえしていれば。
You mean you're actually considering taking it? He had no guarantee that it wouldn't simply kill him outright. And even if he did survive, it might well drive him insane. Sun-Nun, please reconsider this. I'm sure there's some other way. You don't need to rely on the...
こんなものにでも頼らなければ、私の腕は治らないのですよ。私はもはや用済みとなった人間です。普通の大使まで陰口を叩いているのは知っています。あなたにはわからないでしょうね。大いなる志を持って同志と共に江戸から登ってきたというのに、何の役にも立てぬままお情けで重職を与えられている私の気持ちなど。
How could you say it's pity? You're a leader here. The Shinsengumi respects and needs you now more than ever. Sun-Nun's eyes dotted with melancholy, flashing a brief smile that entertained the idea behind my words.
よく覚えていますよ。私は剣客としてもこの新選組に必要なのですよね。
Sun-Nun seemed bitterly focused on the words Hijikata said earlier. They really did affect him.
剣客として死に、ただ生きた屍になれというのであれば、人としても死なせてください。
No!
失敗すると決まったわけではありません。そう分の悪い賭けではありませんよ。
Sun-Nun smiled as he said that, but there was no way to know what might happen to him. Considering the worst that could happen, I couldn't sit by and allow him to do this.
We're gonna try to persuade him this time, my friends.
I still don't think you should take that serum. there's a higher chance that it'll fail, right? If the others knew what you were doing here doing this, they would all try and stop you.
確かに東堂君あたりは落胆するかもしれませんね。彼は人がいいですから。
I thought at first that he was beginning to reconsider, but my faint hope was shattered with words of resignation.
もし私が死んだら、東堂君によろしく伝えてください。
What?
君にまで同情されるとは、私も落ちたものです。
Those were his last words. He suddenly gulped down the red liquid stored in the bottle of fine Idro. No! The bottle slipped from Sanan's hands and crashed into 1,000 tiny bits on the floor. A scarlet drop oozed down from the corner of his lip. Sanan crumbled to the floor. Sanan! I paused, uncertain. He groaned in agony and pulled his hand back to grip his chest over his heart. It's clear he was suffering. Hang in there! I'll go get someone right now! I took a step forward, about to place my hand gently on his back. Ah! His right arm whipped out almost too fast to see and threw me across the room. I slammed into the wall and slid to the floor. I could barely breathe. My vision went blurry for a moment. I coughed once and looked up. Just in time to see Sanan land on top of me, his hands already reaching for my throat.
Well, we're gonna die. It's fine.
His right arm reached for my throat and he relentlessly started to choke me. The hands around my throat were Sanan's, but the man behind them was something else. His silver white hair glistening in the dim light. His bright, maddening red eyes showing through his bangs. I knew those eyes. His eyes were the eyes of a predator, not a man. I saw eyes just like the night I arrived in Kyoto. Those creatures in the alley, drenched in blood. Monsters. As he choked me, I desperately tried to keep breathing. No, this wasn't a monster. This was Sanan. He was still the man I knew. Sanan. Suddenly, the fingers around my neck loosened. Had he just let me go? I crumbled to the floor and I gasped for air through a throat still red with his handprint. My tearful eyes caught sight of Sanan, whose hair now shined white brightly. In the depth of those red eyes, there was a faint sign of reason. Sanan, are you back? What? His words weren't registering in my head, and I could do nothing but look into his eyes. No! In this moment, memories of when I'd first arrived in Kyoto, and of the Ikeda incident flashed before me. I witnessed so many deaths in this time. I came to terms with the idea that for a member of the Shinsengumi, death is a constant. But never could I imagine taking someone's life, most of all Sannan's. No, I can't. I couldn't do that. I mean, you're still Sannan.
Still you. Whatever. Oh god! Well, that happened. It's fine. It was just one time, okay?
Sannan shouted at me and grabbed my collar. Ah! I could see his red eyes flickering. Sannan struggled, with his remaining willpower to fend against the madness boiling inside of him.
God damn it, Rude.
居合わせただけの君にそんな役割を申し付けて申し訳ないとは思いますが。
His right hand slid off my throat and I felt it land on the hilt of my sword. Huh? What is he doing? As I stood there confused, Sannan's fingers wrapped around the handle and began to pull. Oh no. No! Too late I realized what he meant to do and I felt ice creep up my spine. Sannan, please! You can't! I tried with all of my might to pry his arm away and prevent him from drawing my sword, but... I can't. He spoke in starts and stops now as tendrils of madness began to pull him under. My sword was now completely drawn and he pointed it toward his breast over his heart. Sannan! Just as the white, shining tip of the blade was about to pierce his heart, Sannan screamed in anguish, dropping the sword he was gripping. Sannan? What just happened? When I ran towards him, Sannan collapsed to the floor. Sannan! Hang in there! Sannan! I ran over to him and rushed to check his pulse. He's still breathing. He only lost consciousness. This alone gave me a great feeling of relief. But suddenly the door behind me slid open. I rushed to look back when...
Sannan-san.
Okita! Sannan, he's... Okita had a cold expression.
どいてくれる?
His eyes narrowed and I saw them flick around the room, from Sannan's limp body to myself to the shattered vial. Okita's mouth tightened and he bent down to lift Sannan off the floor.
あの薬を飲んだ直後って内臓を握りつぶされるぐらい苦しいらしいんだ。多分最初の衝撃に耐えかねて気を失っちゃったんだろうね。
Oh. After finding that it wasn't life-threatening, I felt a pang of relief.
でも本当の苦しみはこれからなんだけどね。三男さんにはまだ死んでもらうわけにはいかないから頑張ってもらわなきゃ。
His tone was surprisingly detached considering the circumstances, and Okita picked up Sanan before leaving the room. Once they left, I collapsed to the floor out of supreme exhaustion and slumped into myself.
That is the weirdest statement ever.
I finally tapped into the secrets of the Shinsengumi. For so long it was kept from me, and now their forbidden secrets were revealed. My mind went blank due to confusion and fear, but I knew what I saw.
Dang it, we were almost rid of him. Well, you know.
After Sanan collapsed, the captains rushed into the room. They must have heard the commotion from the common room. Everything glowed white after, and I realized that I was in a daze. None of their words stuck in my ear, and I wobbled back to my room.
まったく手間がかかる子だよね、君って。
Okita had taken me back to my room, and I heard him as soon as he opened the door for me.
説明してくれるかな。どうして三男さんと一緒にいたの？
Okita was never particularly pleasant to me, but his tone was even harsher than usual. I felt like there was someone in the common room. I was curious, so I had a look. I found Sanan in there. Okita's lackadaisical response seemed disarming, and he just scanned me. Although my mind had cleared somewhat, it was still difficult to keep my thoughts organized. One, however, quickly rose to the surface. Is it true that my father had something to do with that stuff that Sanan drank?
三男さんから聞いたの？それ。
Yes. He said it makes you stronger, but it drives you mad.
Yeah, we had a moment with Sanan. That was not super cool. Not exactly the way I want to start a romance, thank you very much.
He fixed his eyes wearily on the ceiling above us, sighing before eventually answering my question.
君は薬をここに持ち込んだ人の娘だし、狂った大使とも実際に会ってるし。少しぐらいなら聞かせてあげてもいいかな。本当なら殺しちゃいたいところだけど。
His manner of speaking was far removed than his usual joking self when he mentioned killing. But this time, it felt like he meant it. He could kill me at any time.
薬のことについて何か質問ある？一つくらいなら答えてあげるけど。
I desperately searched for the words. Why did the Shinsengumi get involved in something like this?
僕たちの役目は今日を騒がせる不定労使を取り締まることだけど、簡単な仕事じゃないっていうことぐらい君にだってわかるよね。
Yeah. Among the Ronin, there are plenty that are actually skilled swordsmen. When I was on rounds, I saw many such men fighting and dueling amongst themselves.
今日に来たばかりの頃はとにかく人手が足りなくてね。僕たちの名前なんて全然知られてないし、給金だって満足に出なかったからさ。入隊希望者なんてめったにいないし、たまに来ても得体の知れないゴロつきばっかり。そんな時、幕府の人が薬の実験を持ちかけてきたんだ。
An experiment. That must have been what Sannan was referring to. So you knew what the side effects were and you still made them take it?
もちろん彼らも承知の上だよ。新選組にはね、局中ハットっていうのがあるんだ。隊をまとめるための決まりみたいなものなんだけど、それに背くと即切腹を申し付けられる。
Cut yourself open?
あれ、何驚いてるの？武士の責任の取り方って言えば切腹しかないじゃない。
Traditionally, when samurai disgraced themselves, they drove their swords into their bellies. I had thought such traditions were obsolete, and that now the worst they do is pretend to cut themselves open with a fan.
でもまあ、どうせ死んじゃうんだし、最後にもう一度役に立ってもらった方がいいでしょ。だから、切腹するか、薬を飲むか、好きな方を選んでもらうことにしたんだ。かわいそうだよね、本当に。
I couldn't think of anything to say. What sort of a choice was that? Death by your own hand or madness and death by someone else's?
In fairness to Soji, Narcissus, he's not the commander of the Shinsengumi, nor the chief. He doesn't make these calls. That one is definitely very much Kondo and Hijikata's problem.
The men that I'd encountered that winter night, had their last thoughts as men been hope they might survive the madness? It sounded horrible.
Hijikata and Kondo were sponsors in the Furies. I mean, yeah, kinda.
In a moment, I was taken back to that fateful night when Okita dispatched the warriors with white hair without any effort.
Yeah, the whole concept of this experiment is horrible in every conceivable way. Most of the captains don't really agree with it, and it kind of does become the thrust of the conflict here, which you learn as you go down each of their routes. Yeah, blame the Dutch. Those assholes.
I was worried too. Was Sannan okay? Would he change? My stomach was twisting itself into knots. And so the long night broke. The captains of the Shinsengumi gathered in the common room.
みんな安心してくれ。峠は越えたようだよ。
The room collectively breathed a sigh of relief.
で、どうなんだ、三男さんの様子は。
今はまだ寝てる。静かなものだよ。
今までの大使たちみてえになっちまってるのか、それとも。
Inoue simply shook his head.
確かなことは目を覚ますまでわからんね。見た目は昨日までと変わらないんだが。
Suddenly then, the door slid open.
おはようございます、皆さん。ご機嫌いかがかしら？
Why? Go the fuck away, Ito.
うけ、伊藤さん。
Casual reminder, Ito has no idea about this Fury business.
うげとはご挨拶ですのね。皆さん、お顔の色が優れない様子ですけど。
そりゃ朝っぱらからあんたの顔見たせいに決まってるだろうが。
Well said, Nagakura.
まあ、長倉くんったら冗談がお上手ですこと。
Ito dismissed Nagakura's snide remark, and he turned to face the standing warriors.
皆さんの顔色がよろしくないのは、もしかして昨晩の騒ぎと関わりがあるのかしら。
いや、そのだな。
Desperately, Kondo's eyes flew around the room as if looking for someone to offer an excuse.
よし、ごまかせその。
あ、俺か。実は昨日。
大根役者は出しゃばらないでくれるかな。そういうのだったらもっと得意な人がいるじゃない。
Okita turned to Saito expectantly, and the latter spoke up at once.
伊藤参謀がお察しの通り、昨晩屯所内にて事件が発生しました。
まあ、事件ですって？
はい。ですが我々もまだ全容を把握できてはいない状況です。今の時点での説明は余計な誤解を招くばかりかと。ですので今夜にでも場を設け、詳しくお伝えさせていただきたく存じます。
そういうことですの。事情は分かりましてよ。今夜のお呼ばれ、心待ちにしていますわ。では、ごめん遊ばせ。
Ito brandished another strange smile, stood, nodded, and left the room promptly.
なんとか見逃してもらえたみたいだね。
As much as I can't stand Ito, he's not stupid. They make it pretty plain he's actually a pretty intelligent guy. He's just a dick.
What do you mean?
伊藤さんはなんだかんだで頭が回る人だからな。幹部が勢ぞろいしてる場に三男さんだけいねえんだ。あの人絡みで何かあったってことぐらいすぐ感づくだろ。
And also, casual reminder of the history here. This is about the point at which the real historical Sanan was made to commit seppuku because he tried to leave the Shinsengumi. Hence why this is the point at which he becomes a fury in the story. He is, giant air quotes, dead.
Oh. Ito had likely guessed at what took place, but decided not to press the issue. I had looked up just in time to see Sannan shuffle through the door. Sannan!
Yeah, there's also that little bit, Lynn. You are correct. Which, if I remember rightly, in Peacemaker Kurogane, which is a pretty okay anime, that's also all to do with the Shinsengumi, I think they actually, like, had that as a story element in that one, didn't they? The Sannan that was in there, definitely was hanging out with a spy character.
So そんな化け物を見るような目で見られても困りますよ。
三男さん、起きてていいのかい？
少し気だるいですがね。これも薬の副作用でしょう。 あの薬を飲んでしまうと昼間動くことが困難になりますから。
Sannan looked a little pale, but it didn't look too difficult for him to stand and speak. But if it's hard for him to move during the day...
私はもう人ではありません。
Those words sunk our hearts heavily. Even the captains fell silent to his solemn admission.
いや、三男君、君が生きていてくれてよかった。我々はそれだけで十分だと思う。
Kondo stood and grabbed Sannan's shoulders tightly, his expression bright and endearing. Tears nearly welled in his beaming eyes.
それで腕の方はどうなんです？治ったんですか？
まだ本調子ではありませんからね。自分でもよくわからないのですが。
He lifted his left arm, the arm that before had hung limp at his side, and flexed his hand. It didn't look any different than before his injury.
治っているようですね。少なくとも不便がない程度には。
Thank goodness. In spite of the chaos from last night, his wish to use his arm once more came true. However...
あの薬を飲んだってことは昼間動けねえようになっちまったんだろう。
Alright, Lyra, go get some sleep! Thanks for hanging out, as always. Take care, we'll see you next time. This evening's game has been, like, kind of lacking in Heisuke-ness. We're just pushing the story along, though.
それなのにタイムに参加なんてできるのか?
Technically, we could just skip through all this stuff, but meh.
His voice was calm, almost careless.
解決策はあります。私が死んだことにすればいい。
That is true. We had Heisuke in the beginning, at least.
これから私は薬の成功例として羅刹を束ねていこうと思っています。
三男さん、それ本気で言ってるのか？あんた自分が何を言ってるのか分かってるのかよ？
分かっていますとも。長倉君、君こそ忘れたのですか？我々は薬の存在を伏せるよう幕府から命じられているのですよ。私が死んだことにすれば今までのように薬の存在を隠し通すことができる。それにもし薬の持つ副作用を消すことができるのだとすれば、それを使わない手はないでしょう。
They seemed to be against Sannan's idea, though no one said anything. Who would want to consign a friend to a life of secrecy lived in shadows? But
薬の実験は幕府からのお達しでもあるしな。そうするしかないか。
まあ、三男さんが自分で選んだ道ですし、止めたって聞く人じゃないですよね。
よくわかっていますね。その通りですよ。
Hijikata scoffed at Sannan's suggestion, and bitterness frothed from his words.
豚書移転の話、冗談じゃ済まされなくなったな。三男さんを伊藤派の目から隠すには広い豚書が必要だ。ここじゃ 狭すぎる。
同意します。薬の研究を続けるのであれば、なおのこと移転を急ぐべきかと。
よし、ろくに寝てねえとこ悪いが、話し合いを始めさせてもらうぜ。雪村、お前は部屋に戻ってろ。ゆうべ、ろくに寝てねえだろ。
Okay. Understood. Please excuse me. I bowed to everyone and left the common room. I'm happy that Sanan was safe, but a whole flurry of new concerns arose. Learning of my father's horrible work. What will become of me? Will I be safe? Such thoughts buzzed heavily in my head as I walked back to my room.
Yoicks. And now we're in June of 1865. Jesus. However, this is probably a good spot to stop since they have just moved to the new headquarters. And we'll pick it up on Sunday. Oh, okay. I mean, like, I have 2 D&D games tomorrow. I need to have a voice that works. And it is flagging a little. I'm sure you've heard the couple of times my voice has caught and like I've been unable to properly articulate myself. But we are progressing. We will continue. And Sunday night we will continue with the Heisuke saving. And maybe we'll actually see more of Heisuke this time. And hopefully we won't accidentally score points with Sanan again. Good lord. Alright, my friends. Have a lovely evening. And for those of you that I will be gaming with tomorrow, I will see you then. Yeah, that was... Alright. Bye, kids. Sayonara.